Hello, this is Daniel Ritchie again, and today I'm going to be talking about Lightwave. And if you've seen the movie Epic not too long ago, it was a blue sky movie about some people out in the woods, little tiny people. You probably saw the scene where these ferns, I think it was, they unfurled in the sunlight, and they just looked really like they had some really expensive plug-in programmers working on these things. And then it kind of occurred to me today. I started thinking about this problem, how you would do that, and it occurred to me it's really just a bone gag. And I'm going to show that here. As you can see, this bone chain starts to unfurl, and it can go back the other way or whatever. Maybe not the best animation, but you get the idea. But it really is a simple gag to pull off, and I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Let me clear this from the scene. Clear all. And I'm just going to draw two bones to start with. Go to setup, and let's see, bone, and draw a child bone. We'll start here, make one about yay long. Go up here, make one the same length, and I'm going to stop there. Now, well, how do we get from here to that long chain of bone where you started out with one long bone, and by the time by the time you get to the end of the bone chain, they're really tiny little bones? Well, we're just going to use the split bone tool. Split. It gives you a nice little split thing you can move around, which is very handy. But we're going to just go ahead and go to the middle, and if you right-click right there, that will split the bones. Now I'm going to unselect the first bone and split the second one again, and proceed down the chain the same way. Split, unselect, split, unselect, one more time, and split. So small I can't tell if it worked. I guess we got it. Maybe. Anyways, okay. So we've done that. Now what? Well, we could just go ahead and go to that rotate tool and start rotating that. But well, if you look at this, the bones aren't really all that long. They're going to be. In fact, I'll show you what this looks like here. If we were to rotate this right now. Oh, in fact, kind of a neat keyboard shortcut is if you select that first bone or that last bone at the end of the chain, and then right-click, or I think it's shift right-click, it'll select all the bones in between instead of having to select them one at a time. So if we were to animate this by rotating it, I'm on the rotate tool, and I did this. Well, we're getting the motion we want, but that bone chain is kind of clunky looking. It's kind of segmented looking. So I'm going to undo this keyframe I just created by pressing delete. And well, let's fix that. Let's just go ahead and keep these bones selected, and we're going to go ahead and go back to setup and click on split bone again. And as you can see, since we have all these bones selected, there's a little that red line where we can split this where we want to. I'm going to move that up slightly so the base, this side is a little bit longer than that side. But, oops, I just unselected that. But this side is not smaller than this side, so we want to make sure we position that in the right place. Now I'm just going to click, oops, and again I have a couple unselected ones down here. I'm going to go ahead and right click right there, and that will automatically split all those bones again, and we could do that several more times if we wanted to. In fact, I might just go ahead and get a bunch of bones in there. Make sure this part here is shorter than this part here, but not shorter than the next one down. So I'm going to go right there. There, I think we've got plenty of bones now. If we keyframe this right now, let me go back to the rotate tool. Shift R on the keyboard, I'm sure. Now we got plenty of bones in that scene, and we can keyframe this just any way we want to. In fact, I'll start with it curled up, and then I'll have it unfurl. I'm going to unselect this first one, this first bone. We don't want the base part of the bone rotating, because that's fastened to the ground. It's rooted to the, as the old King's Quest games used to say, you can't move the tree, it's rooted to the ground. Alright, and you're getting this nice, really beautiful, it looks kind of almost like a fractal as you rotate that. And one nice property is it doesn't just all rotate in a circle, but since we have these shorter bones, it's rotating and getting smaller and smaller and smaller as we go along. Actually, the rotation is being added to each bone as it goes down, so it has that cumulative property. But it also, having those shorter bones also improves that property as well, that it coils up at the end. Alright, so now we've, let me select that base one right there, I think, and right click right there, and that selects all of them. I'm going to go ahead and go out here. In animation, you usually have the pose and then settle. So I'll create one there, so it stays in the original position for 20 frames. I'll have it unfurl over so many frames, whatever. Oops, I did it again. And oops, I meant to right click on that. And I'll have it unfurl there. But instead of just stopping there, I'm going to have it go a little extra. Then I'll have it settle into its regular pose, which will be well, the problem with the touchpad is you keep accidentally pressing all the wrong buttons. And I'll have it settle into a regular pose right about there. Alright, so that should be our animation. Let's see how it looks. Whoops. Start at the beginning and see how it looks. And it starts, and unfurls. It goes to the pose there. It settles at the final pose, but it overshoots it a little bit. So that is a quick way to create a fern unfurling. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope this was really an obvious one, but maybe you didn't think of it. Maybe you're like me and it went a couple of years and you didn't think about it, and suddenly one day it just occurred to you, I guess. So hope it's been helpful. This is Dan Ritchie signing off, and as always, TTFN.